Nigeria's economy entered a recession in 2020, reversing 3 years of recovery due to fall in crude oil prices on account of falling global demand and containment measures to fight the spread of COVID-19. The states were not spared as the impact hit the economy of various states, Taraba not an exception. In this exclusive interview with ZT Online News, the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Taraba State, Honorable Solomon Elisha, speaks on the economic outlook of Taraba State, boasting that the rescue mission agenda of his principal, Governor Darius Dixon Ishaku, is still on course, despite the numerous challenges.
When Architect Darius Dixon Ishaku came into power in 2015, the economy was very, very strong. In fact, it was increasing steadily, and in all spheres of life, most especially in the areas of revenue generation and a kind of our GDP growth as a state was stable and moving in the increase steadily until 2020, when we had this issue of COVID. It was a pandemic, and eventually it struck the whole of the world and destabilizes the economy of not only Taraba State alone, of the whole world. But despite the dwindling economic, the state government, under the leadership of Architect Darius Dixon Ishaku, has been painstakingly making sure that its obligations have been carried out effectively. When I said obligation, it means a lot.
A lot indeed.
Salaries, pension, infrastructural development, security, name them. So, and in fact, it will also surprise you that despite the catastrophe of COVID-19 in the areas of economy, our GDP as a state is stable. This is because salaries were being paid promptly, and that make the mechanism towards stabilizing the GDP. Money were in circulation, and perhaps Taraba State happens to be a kind of civil service state, where a lot of people depends on the salaries from the government. We don't have these big industries here, and it stabilized the GDP.
The essence of governance really is to ensure that you have a vibrant economy for the people's benefit. Now, but beyond that now, Taraba, I hear most of the time talked about as one of the most endowed states in Nigeria, talking about natural resources, agriculture, mineral, and all of that. How has the state executive harnessed these economic potentials to a plus for the state's benefit?
Well, the area of agriculture, the state government have been doing very well, owing to the fact that Taraba State is an agri state. So we are indeed harnessing all the opportunities that are there, most especially in the area of enlightenment. We enlightened our farmers to use improved varieties,
best practice
for them to boost their product. Again, the state government, under the leadership of Architect Darius Dixon Ishaku, introduces this dry
season
farming.
Wow.
Most especially in that areas of rice. We produce a lot of rice here in the States, and it goes all the season, and a lot. The government have given a lot of seeds, improved seeds, the sesame, the cassava, name them, and this is yielding a lot of result for the production in the areas of agriculture in Taraba State. But very unfortunately, we have issues of insecurity which have bedeviled the whole country, and Taraba State is not spared. We all have our own small issues. But let me tell you one thing. Before Governor Darius Dixon Ishaku became the governor of Taraba State, I can say before 2015, Tarabans were more divided. Yes, they were more divided.
Really?
But when he came, he was able to unite us as people. We were able to do away with most of the things that divided us and focus on the unity of the state. Yes, we are endowed with agricultural resources and mineral resources, and we are taking that opportunity of the agricultural sector, which we think is within our reach, very seriously, and we have been yielding a lot of result, though we have issues also of patriotism.
How do you mean?
When we talk of issue of patriotism, when you look at some of these agricultural products leaving Taraba State to other states,
okay,
you would think we are the best states in the areas of revenue generation.
Of course, the statistics do not say that.
The statistics do not say that because most of these records were not properly kept.
Okay.
That is why I said the issue of patriotism came in.
From who now?
Yes, from the players. From the players. You see, in this country we have a lot of issues. Yes, the state government have done a lot by making sure that automation are in place, and you know these automations are being operated by human beings, and if that spirit of patriotism is not there, the machines are there, it's garbage in and garbage out. So perhaps I also want to say that owing to what is happening within the globe, all states have started looking inward.
Sure. Desirable.
And as Tarabans, we don't have any state better than Taraba State. Wherever you find yourself, try and create value. Try and create value. Though as a government we are trying our best. We will continue to try. And I'm assuring you that though the statistic of our revenue generation is increasing year by year, though it's not enough, but I'm assuring you that we will get there because of some of the measures the government have put in place. We will get there.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. We hope to see when you get there, because that will now reflect even on the streets. Because right now, if you go to the street, I'm sure you also walk around sometime to feel the heartbeat of the people. There is no such reflection around the streets of Taraba at all. You see poverty in the face of the people, and you were just trying to talk about the statistics, like you doubt them.
That has to do with the country in general.
Okay.
We have issues with our values. Yes, our social values as Nigerians have broken down completely.
Okay.
We don't used to be the proud people we used to be. In those days, if you go to the village, you will see a lot of people with a lot of things. This one will bring food, this one will bring this one will bring that. But I don't know what has happened. And this has to
We are no longer our brother's keeper, is that what you're saying?
And this has to be with our values. And it is not particular to Taraba State. This is a national issue. Perhaps we don't know what is wrong, but we'll continue to do our best. We'll continue to make our people to be industrious. We'll continue to give opportunities for those who need them, for us to boost the economy of the state.
And I will come back to my question again, sir. Now, I'm saying that the poverty rate on the streets is quite high. With what you're doing still, and then still the statistics also reading that Taraba State is one of the poorest states in the country. Although you are trying to contest the issue of those who take data, right? What are you doing, especially from your office, to make available the right data to perhaps prove this wrong, and then even correct the impression from what we see on the streets where people really bring this outlook of poverty?
Well, I can say authoritatively that the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning in Taraba State have put off machineries in place towards making our own statistical data available. The survey will be conducted. We have finished all the necessary arrangements. We are just waiting for the approval of our principal so that we kickstart. And very soon, we believe that the Taraba State survey will make available scientific survey whereby all sphere of life will be captured. And people will know the actual thing, the realities on ground. And perhaps we are contesting some of these statistical reports that are going on. And our people too are not even being sincere to themselves.
How?
Yes. Somebody will have more than $20 in his pocket. But eventually when the enumerators come to interview him, he will tell them that for the past 3 months he has not gotten up to $1. Because he will think if he lies, they will give him money. Can you look at what I'm talking about patriotism?
Oh, I get it now.
So, in fact, even those providing the data are not even sincere to themselves.
It means you need to do a lot of sensitization even before your researchers go out.
We have to. We will do it.
Sure.
And there are people who know how to make them tell us
the truth. Okay. All right then. Quite funny, yes. But of course, we, like you said, I agree with you, patriotism is very much required in some of these things. To tell the truth so that we get the actual data.
Yeah.
Now, let's come back a little bit to Taraba at 30. How do you measure the economy 30 years after state creation?
Well, when you look at Taraba today, and you look at what Taraba State used to be, you will know that there is a lot of improvement in all sphere of life. Well, before 2015, let me tell you when my boss took over, Jalingo wasn't what it is today.
Okay, in what sphere? Infrastructure?
Infrastructural development, human development, and expansion. You know, expansion too is part of development.
Sure.
Before 2015, we have only one bridge that crosses over Nokai Bridge. But today we have another bridge again. Before 2015, we were not talking about flyover in the States. But just look at how the work is going very fast. The work is at the advanced stage now. You see a lot of road networks here in Jalingo, our local government headquarters, whom from the creation of Taraba State we are just a glorified village. Most of them now are cities. People of Kurmi, need to thank this administration.
Why?
Go and see what is happening in the road from Taraba to Baisa. The work is progressing. Ukari Sukundi, the road has almost completed. What do we call it? This Patisawa road has gone to very advanced stage. A lot of Marabon industries in the state were being revived by the administration of Architect Darius Disonisha. Perhaps schools were highly renovated, new ones were built. Hospitals were also renovated, new ones were built. Go to Ukari Hospital and see. It has been renovated, upgraded, and is operational now. The same thing with Bamboo. The same thing with Gembu Hospital. So what am I trying to say here? Once you look at where we are coming from and where we are now, and again, once you look at the rescue mission agenda of the government, where we are going to, you should know that for the past 30 years, Taraba have witnessed a lot of developmental changes.
But a lot still needs to be done, because I don't want it to be a banter, but I beg to disagree. The state capital here in Jalingo, you hardly will see good road networks. The roads within the neighborhoods are very, very bad. Granted, the government has chosen to do a flyover or the high-profile roads network, but what's the consideration for these very little streets that really affects the people?
Well, you are entitled to your opinion, but the truth of the matter is that most of these constructions are ongoing. In fact, dualization from NYC to Pantina and the flyover is still ongoing. And some of these roads within the neighborhood too, like that one of Angwankasa, is still ongoing. So we are still within the little resources that we have. We are still working.
So it's an issue of priority, where the government prioritizes to take care of for the moment.
Perhaps most of these things are ongoing.
Okay. So those of us who have not seen should be waiting.
Very soon, you will see a lot of road networks in the state's capital.
Wonderful. That's
we are working assiduously.
That's encouraging.
The government of Architect Darius Disonisha have mapped out mechanism towards revamping our TAGMA. TAGMA.
What's that?
Taraba Road Construction and Maintenance Agency.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, you know, some of these neighborhood roads are being mined by them.
Okay.
So lately they have a lot of issues with their equipment and whatsoever. So we are revamping the place, and very soon they will kickstart. Very soon.
Wonderful. That's hopeful.
Every road will be rehabilitated and put to use. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's hopeful, and I think on that very positive note is where we would draw an end to the interview, but not without asking you. This is close to the electioneering period. You agree with me, sir? Those of you politicians. We are in September of 2021, and then here comes 2023. Do we have an assurance that this very good mission of the rescue agenda would be completed before 2023?
We are in government. Our mentor, our leader, our principal, the executive governor of Taraba State, Architect Darius Disonisha, was elected by the people of Taraba State for another 4-year time. We are in government. Politics cannot distract us. What we are doing now is governance, and we will do it to the best of our ability. Thank you.
Thank you so much for granting us this interview.
Thank you.
Indeed, good governance is non-negotiable. It is a core aim of governance. Politics should not distract politicians from delivering the dividends of governance. Queen Kunde Enoch reporting for ZT Online News.